ठीक है. ओके. आयुष नहीं आया ना? आयुष.
भाई मतलब किसके वर्क कल्चर रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन पूछने हैं या किससे रिलेटेड पूछने हैं?
वर्क कुछ भी पूछ लेना कि वर्क कैसे है. हेलो अमित. हेलो.
Hello,
Hey,
Amit.
hi.
Sorry
Hi,
to disturb
everyone.
you
How are you
again.
guys? No, it's absolutely fine. No worries.
बस स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं. ये 7 वाले रह गए. एक आर्यन और ये
Cool.
इनको बोल देता हूँ मैं.
Give us 3 minutes and we'll get started.
Sure, no worries.
How was your week, Amit?
It was fine, yeah. matlab, It's as usual, nothing exciting. What about you guys? How was
Nothing
for you?
exciting.
Same as usual.
Is there anything? You guys must be having a fest in this fall, right? Must be a month or two ago, around in month or two. You guys will be having a fest. So
Hmm.
generally, I guess UPS used to hold their fest in April or May, as far as I remember.
I have no clue regarding Fest.
It's your
Uh,
first year at UPS, right?
yeah. That's why
Oh,
we have no clue regarding Fest.
cool. So where do you guys stay? You guys stay in a hostel or you guys are day scholars? What's the scene?
I stay in a flat. Maximum guys stay in a hostel.
Okay. So where are you guys from, basically? Like Aditya is from
Aditya,
the
so
other itself.
he's a
Yeah,
localite. I
yeah.
am
He's
from
a day
Odisha.
scholar. Oh, okay.
Yeah, hi Amit, for the
Hi,
side.
Vaibhav. Yeah, hi.
I'm from Gurgaon, yaar.
From Gurgaon.
Yeah.
But your roots are from Uttarakhand only, I can see.
Yeah. So my hometown is
He's
in like Almora.
Amit. He's
Ajay.
from my hometown, and I
Yeah.
Oh,
think I
nice.
may be related to Vaibhav, or maybe he's related to Himanshu. So
Yeah, it's
Vaibhav,
So
possible.
basically, I'm born
one
and
of
brought
our
up in
friend is
Gurgaon.
also Himanshu Singh Best, and
Yeah.
Why is
he
everyone from
become my
Almora?
close friend. And then after getting to know him, uh, hi- his grandmother is from my village. So kind of, you know, every beast is somehow relative. So
So where do your parents stay in Gurgaon?
Basically, I'm born and brought up in Gurgaon only. So I stay in Malibu town, sector 47.
Malipur, Sector 47. Is
Yeah.
this near to RD City Mall? RD City
Yeah.
Mall.
RD City. RD
Yeah.
City.
Okay. Got
Are
it.
Vaibhav,
you
you
also
can
from Gurgaon
pitch.
only?
Vaibhav, you
So
can
sorry.
pitch
Go on.
your
I can pitch what? Sorry. Come again.
you can pitch your flats.
So,
You can sell some flat to Amit.
Amit, so are you working in
Maybe
Gurgaon? Like,
Yeah.
you work?
I work
Okay.
at Cyber City.
Cyber City. Got it. So
Yeah.
where you are staying right now in Gurgaon?
I stay in Sector 27, Golf Course Road.
अच्छा golf course road. अच्छा.
Hmm.
ठीक है. Got it.
Yeah.
So
तो
we
गाइस
have
चलो
any.
स्टार्ट करें.
Yeah, sure.
आर्यन हैज
Chalo, I
सम
guess
इशू तो
we can
लेट्स.
connect in
ओके.
sometime. Yeah. No worries.
So
Okay.
we all are very delighted to welcome Amit Dayal, second M&A professional with a strong engineering and consulting background. Amit is a mechanical engineer by training and currently working with KPMG in merger and acquisition domain. So welcome Amit, and let's start our discussion, our second discussion, what I say. So can you please address some.
Yeah. Sure. So I guess let me just set a context for you guys. I guess you know me now by now, but there's one thing which I want to make it clear before we start the discussion, that I want to keep it interactive. So I guess I'll take like not more than 10 minutes or 15 minutes to tell you that what we do, and I guess this time it will be more elaborative. I'll be covering different aspects at what we do at corporate office. corporate in the corporate world, and then you can have your questions around it, and then we can have a interactive session, so that it won't be a. I'm not a lecturer, to be very to be frank, so it would be
Mhm.
better for me also to keep it interactive. Yeah. So, yeah, talking about, I guess I'll first talk about the recent, the my current job only. I guess the past one I can talk about at the later part of our discussion. But majorly, what I do at KPMG is I'm working at the commercial due diligence practice in M&A consulting. So I'm working as an assistant manager here, and uh, to make you aware about what is the CDD practice and where does it sit in M&A consulting. So in a merger and acquisition, whenever a deal happens, it basically have like 4 to 5 verticals within a deal. So one is commercial due diligence, the next is financial due diligence, third becomes your technical due diligence, fourth becomes your tax due diligence, fifth becomes a valuation part. And there are other due diligence part as well, but it depends on the case to case basis. But these are the five major verticals, and whenever a deal happens in a merger and acquisition world. So I sit under the CDD practice. In CDD practice, it's basically we identified that how the so whenever an investor approaches us that they wanted to invest in one of the target company and we wanted to have a CDD around that target. So my major agenda is to identify that how the market is going to behave for that particular sector. So whether the investment will be a fruitful investment for the investor moving forward, or it's a dying market basically. So we identify and we kind of did a market assessment for the investors, and post which we do the competitive analysis and the target analysis as well. So to identify that who are the other competitors who are operating in the same segment and delivering the same product and services to the end consumer, and majorly where does the target where they want to invest stands in that particular competitive in market. So that's the next two sections that we cover in any deal. And the last one is majorly the business B plan evaluation. So whenever a target or a company, an investor target reaches out to a target or a company where that they want to invest in, it's the company which prepares the business plan. So they will provide the investor with a 5 or a 10-year business plan where they prepare a full financial model covering what are the assumptions that they are taking, how their growth, how their sales are going to increase, whether they are going to introduce any new product or service line in their portfolio, and how they are able to, if they will be able to capture the target market, what the market share they are approaching or targeting in the next 5 or 10 years. So and based on that, then we have the full the PNL. I guess you must have read about you must have gone through the finance part by now. So all those we create the PNL statements for them, the balance sheet, the cash flow statement, and what's the valuation that the investor can foresee after the 5 or 10 years of period. That's all we do in the B plan valuation. And last but not the least, if the investor comes up with a request to have a go to market strategy or a market expansion strategy for that particular client. So means once you become a majority stakeholder in the firm, it's the responsibility of the investor to grow the organization head. So they wanted to have a expansion strategy with us where we try to identify if there are any business adjacencies which this particular company or the target has not been able to tap on, but and not been able to identify, but still they have the potential over there. So that's all what we do in CDD practice. There are, and this depends from case to case. I'm just trying to keep it very general because these exercises vary from sector to sector. Majority of the sectors you'll find the same practice, but there are sectors in which the few parts may vary. So that's the whole crux about what we do in the CDD practice. Any questions? I'll take a pause here if somebody, if I guess I can see few people who are new. So if they do have any question over here. or want to understand
Guys,
something?
please take part because our edge marks based on this. So let's have at least one question
And
from each of us.
just before we get into the question Q&A, Aditya, I would ask you to just recheck whether you're recording this session or not.
What? Okay, recording. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The
Uh,
recording is on for this session. Yeah.
Yesterday we have called, so I tested it very well and get it okay.
Okay. Cool,
It is
cool, cool,
working.
cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. Yeah, guys, the floor is open for you.
Okay, so you
Any
said
question?
GTM and valuation, right? So I kind of want to deep dive into it. So when you're framing the GTM strategy for any company, for any market, right? What are
Mm.
some like what would be the first, key parameters you would focus on?
Yeah, for GTM, the okay, so you want to understand it from a perspective that from a company perspective, that what are the aspects that a company should look for when they
Yeah.
want to have a GTM strategy, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah. So we had a session before this, before I guess someone from other consultancy firm had come to our auditorium, and the purpose of
Mm.
that session was about to be that what
Wazir
what's
Consulting.
purposely there for. Yeah, Wazir Consultancy. So the purpose of that lecture was that that sir was there to teach us about the GTM strategy, about the
Mm.
company. So I want to
Mm.
actually know that what it entails, from start to finish, be it any for basically for any company.
So you see, for a GTM, you need to first understand that you first need to identify whether you want which segment that you want to enter. So there are two type of GTM which I personally, and this is not a basic principle, which is it's a book written principle. It's not. So I believe a GTM can be divided into two. We can first it should be seen from a lens that whether it's a entirely a new GTM for you guys. So, for example, there's a company which is into paper manufacturing and they wanted to enter into, say, transformer manufacturing moving forward. So, it's a complete turnaround for them and they wanted to enter into a new set of new line of
New
production.
market.
So that's yeah, it's a new market. I won't say new market. It's a new set of production that they have to set up for in their production unit, and it's a portfolio expansion. Then comes a GTM for the business adjacencies. So, for example, there's a company which is in a paper manufacturing, and they start manufacturing cardboards, or they start recycling cardboard. So it's a backward integration for them. So these are the two types. First, this is the lens that you need to focus on whether it's a new service line GTM or it's a business adjacency GTM. Once you identify that, then you need to identify once this is identified, then you need to assess the market. And see, there's no clarity even if you do the entire GTM exercise. uh, there would be a chance that the company they won't move ahead with the investment or won't move ahead with investing or starting with the new product or the service line, because that's the whole idea of the GTM strategy part, GTM exercise. So what we do is once we have identified that this is the particular product or service line that we want to enter, we do the market assessment to identify that whether this market is going to grow in the country or not. And for the first 5 years or 10 years, majorly 5 to 10 years, every company wants to expand in the geography where they are operating. Nobody is going to look forward, or there could be, these are very radical examples that you'll find it. I am going to expand or start a production for the international markets. It's very, very radical to think about. So what we generally do, we do the market assessment that how the market for that particular service or particular product is going to grow in the future. Once it is identified, and if we see that the CAGR that we are able to see, the market growth CAGR that we are able to see is in line with what the in other market industries are growing, and at what rate. So for example, my revenue is growing at 10%, and if I'm looking into a new product whose market is going to grow at 5, 6, 4%, I don't think so that's a good product for me to enter into, because my the current service line or the products that I'm having a revenue which is giving me more returns compared to what I am looking for. So I'll always try to look for the products and service whose CAGR, whose market CAGR is at least equal to mine or is going to grow at a faster rate. That's why I'm trying to look into a new product or a new service line. Once that is identified, and then we need to identify that whether to enter into this market, whether the company has the abilities to enter or not. So, for example, uh, say again it's a transformer manufacturing company. It's a paper manufacturer and they want to into transformer manufacturing. The ability of manufacturing is there with the company. However, it's entirely a different entirely different ball game. So one is about directly producing a product or a good which is going to the end consumer. However, this is a transformer that you are giving to it's a more technical thing that to manufacture. So first we need to identify whether the company has the ability to grow in this segment or not, and if not, then we need to see whether they, so that's the way there's come the decision of growing organically or inorganically. So generally what do company do if they don't have the ability, they go for the acquisition part. Merger is not in GTM, merger is not a case. Merger is highly not a case because they don't want to merge themselves and grow further, because that's not a GTM is being looked for. Whenever you want to grow in a perspective, you always try to acquire a smaller company which is growing in the market and have a market share and able to at least have a good business in a region, have a good regional presence. So we always look. So if the company don't have the ability, they generally go for the inorganic part. And this how then we prepare the. So once you have identified the market, you did the market assessment, then you identified whether the company has the ability to enter into that market or in the market through organic or inorganic. Once this is done, then you identify, then you did do the other, who are the other competitors who are operating in this segment. So there could be a number of companies who are operating, and what's the market share. So there are like two. So generally, what we have seen in the market, that there are at least 4 to 5 players who are dominating in the entire pan India market. Then there are few players which are emerging in the segment, and then there's a third segment which is a fragmented segment, where like 300 or 400 suppliers and manufacturers are operating, which are operating at a very small scale, say around 50 crores ka revenue in a year. Annual revenue is 50 to 100 crores, or 25 to 50 crores. So that's a fragmented market where the companies are operating at a very small scale. So you need to identify that in which segment that you want to enter. Either what you can do, you can acquire a company which is operating in the fragmented segment and having a, a, a revenue of say for 85,000 or 90, 85, 80 or 90 crores in annual revenue, and then you can grow with that particular company. This is one case that you can have, but the struggle would be hard for that company. And if the capital, for example, there's a company, say Apollo Tires wants to enter. Apollo Tires is a financially backed company and they have capital with them. They can go for the second category where the emerging players are there, where the emerging players have the manufacturing capacity and they are at the verge that they can give the competition to the other emerging, and one day they can become a dominating player in the pan India segment. Then you look after that okay, this is the company that I want to approach for, and then and then you create a next 5 to 10 years rollout plan for them, that how you can grow with this company, how you should manage, you should expand in your manufacturing capacity, how you should look into the international markets as well, and there are then other factors to identify which international market would be suitable for the expansion of these products and services. So this is how we do. And once this is done, GTM is done, then you go for, if the company wants to really acquire that company, then comes the M&A part. We do all the due diligence for that particular customer. So that's the whole idea of GTM that we do from end to from start till the end.
Hi
Oh,
Amit, Aryan this side.
Yeah, hi,
Uh,
Aryan.
as you mentioned about mergers and acquisition, I have a question related to that only.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I wanted to know that at what stage do consultants really enter an M&A deal? Like they're part of the process from the beginning only, or there's some stage or some point when
No,
a
no. So when okay, okay, I
reaches.
guess let me clear it out. So generally, what happens? The investor identifies the target. When I say target, it's the company they want to acquire, the company where they want to put the equity investment. So once the investor identify the target, they come to the consulting firms, and then they want to have a due diligence exercise on that, and then where we come up. So this is the part where we come up to do the due diligence of that particular target. So due diligence in simple way is investigation of that particular company. So for example, let me clear it out. So for example, you want to buy a car, Aryan. You want to buy a car maybe, and then you evaluate like my Honda ki loom. Should I go for Maruti? Should I go for Volkswagen? Should I go for Skoda? So you do the investigation. Na? That is due diligence because you are there to put an investment in an asset, and that asset for that invested that asset is the target company. They evaluate it since uh, um, the focus, or I should say the platform is very large in this case. That's why this due diligence is divided into further sub verticals that I explained in the first. So this is the point where we enter as an M&A consultant. If you talk about the IB firms or the corporate finance firms, they are the one who identify these companies for investors. So if you are looking for a future in investment banking firm or a corporate finance firm, you are the one who will be identifying. So for example, an investor, say Aditya Birla. There's a capital wing of Aditya Birla. They came to you and they'll ask you that I am looking to invest in a renewable energy company. You go and find an investor for a target company for me. So you will be the job from the buy side. So you will be from the buy side to identify a company that particular Aditya Birla capital arm wants to invest in you or want to acquire you. So this is where the IB or the CF people came up. So that's the stages at which different arms of consulting comes up.
Uh,
Yeah,
Hi Amit,
yeah,
good to see
Adarsh.
you again.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm,
I just wanted to ask you, so during due diligence, of course, we look at the financial factors, but I wanted to know what non-financial factors matter the most, but often underestimated.
non-financial. So the market assessment which I said, Adarsh, is non-financial.
I think
How you
goodwill. I
No,
think
no,
he's
goodwill
talking
is
about
not
goodwill or
goodwill.
something.
Actually, you're talking about goodwill. Now, see, goodwill and all is the part of valuation exercise. We don't do it. Valuation is something which we don't do it.
Mm,
If the investor comes up and they want to invest in they want to take a valuation services from the consulting firm, then the valuation team comes up and they identify that what's the total value of their assets of the company, and over and above what's the goodwill that you want to pay, because the goodwill always comes up with the fair market value of that particular firm. So for example, the asset value is say 100 and liabilities is what 70. So
70,
what's the net identifiable assets for that company is 30,
30.
right? But the market value, the fair market value, what market is valuing that particular company or that target is say 30, 150. Right.
mm,
So 120, or if you are able to negotiate, if the investor is able to negotiate well, then you'll be paying, say they want to invest like 100 in that particular company. In that case, that 70 would be the goodwill from the investor side. They are putting an over and above value for their assets in that particular firm. So that's part of valuation. I have done a few projects of valuation, but not much. Is not in generally is not in our scope. But other than this, the market assessment, if you want to talk about the competitive assessment and the competitive market target and regulatory assessment, these are the four assessments which are not dependent on the financials. Because, and these are very crucial, because any even if you want to present something to the investor, his first would be that tell me how big will be the market moving forward. मुझे market बताओ भाई कितना बड़ा है, मैं तभी जाऊंगा इसके अंदर. That's the first question any investor will ask you. So market
So
assessment, yeah.
when you say
Yeah,
market,
please go ahead.
when you say market कितना बड़ा है, तो it becomes a subjective question. Like, is it like
No,
1,000 crores कि
no.
इतना?
It's clear. It's very clear, yeah. So let's play. Let's understand with an example over here. You again a paper manufacturing company, right? What is the you'll identify that what's the amount of production of a paper. Say let's say a simple benchmark, or let's categorize it. One is paper for newspaper, okay. Then we have paper for your notebooks and notepads and everything. Then we have papers for wrapping and gift material. Let's categorize it into three parts, right? These are the all three type of papers which are manufactured in India on a daily basis. You will identify that what are the what is the quantity of this. Let's consider in kg. What kg of these papers are produced in India on an annual basis, right? Then you'll identify that what's the cost of this particular paper, right? What's the cost, and at what price it is being it gets sold to the dealer and then further. So for me, it's the middleman to whom I'll be selling this paper, or let's say to the end consumer. To the end consumer, say for example, newspaper cost gives me a revenue of 1 rupee. My notepad paper or this notebook paper gives me 2 rupees, and paper wrapping gives me 4 rupees. तो मुझे ये मिल गया. I will identify that how the use of these categories of papers is going to grow by 2030. I'll identify a CAGR, I'll identify the factors that will increase. Say for example, वही फिर मैं market categorization करूंगा यार, आज इतने बच्चे पढ़ते हैं, कल को इतने हो जाएंगे. If the usage of there is a usage of 50 kgs of paper for 100 students, तो वो अगर यही students कल को 1000 हो जाएंगे, तो what will be the usage over there? तो ऐसे करके मैं पूरा मार्केट असेसमेंट करूंगा, एंड इट्स नॉट सब्जेक्टिव. हाँ, assumptions is subjective on me, but the value is not subjective. I'll identify a number कि हो सकता है हाँ this industry will become a 25,000 crore industry in 2030. So this is the market assessment I'm talking about. We don't give numbers on subjective basis, that we create scenarios. For sure we'll create scenarios. There could be the high case, low case, and base case. We generally do this high, low, base, but subject, and these vary, the assumptions varies in these cases, but it's not a bracket that we are giving to the investor.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Amit.
so I guess
Guys,
this is what I had to explain here. If
so
there's
let's
anything
let's
else, yeah.
really, I think we have a lot of question about this. Let's have some question just regarding KPMG and how work culture and you know work-life balance. Can you, any one of guys, please have a question on
Uh,
that thing?
so
So
hi,
I have a question. Okay,
last
continue.
time we talked about like you're a back-end consultant, then you switched to KPMG, and now your role is basically client-facing. So like what skill sets you focus to like to get this job or how to crack KPMG in a client-facing role? Because as initially you mentioned last time that we should focus more on the back-end part also to understand the client-facing part. So any
And I guess
particular skill set which, yeah,
yeah. So I guess I got your point. So your question, I guess your video or your audio is lagging a bit. But just to reiterate it, your main crux of the question is to how to navigate your path in a client-facing role. So, for example, you enter into the industry in the back-end role, and then you want to switch to the client-facing role. How you should, or what are the skills that you should focus on? Correct?
yeah, yes.
Yeah. Okay. See, majorly, the one of the major skill that is very much more important, and I guess since you guys are doing MBA, that is very much important is for you is the communication skills. This is something which nobody is going to give you any relaxation on this. There is no relaxation on this particular skill. Your communication skills should be top notch, and if not top notch, but at least it should look very smart. Because once you it's okay with the Indian clients. I would say it's okay with the Indian clients when you're doing a project with a corporate, Indian corporate. But if you're doing with the investors, it is as important as working with the foreign client, because if you're not being able to explain your findings and your questions to the end client, it would be difficult for you. And articulation is one thing, that is the second skill that you should have. How to articulate your findings, how to articulate your questions. Those are very important. The next thing, I guess I have talked about this in the last interaction as well, but the soft skills are also very much important. Your presentation skills, your Excel skills. This is something which is bare minimum for you guys. You need to be very sharp on this, and it's a bare minimum skills that you should have. I guess if you have see, this is what I'm trying to say, that don't keep a variety of fruits in your basket. Try to be selective about it and try to be strong about it. If you are strong, see, nobody is going to question you, यार तुझे आर नहीं आता है, why you are here. कहते नहीं आता, teach me. I am here, you teach me. Nobody is going to learn each and every skill in his or her career. I know the bare minimum. I know what to do in a corporate. I know how to survive here and how to do the bare minimum in any corporate that I'm working in. If you want an additional skill, teach me. Give me resources. Give me time. I'll learn that particular skill and I'll start delivering it. So these two are the bare minimum that I told you: communication skills, and articulation, and your soft skills of presentation and Excel. These are bare minimum that you should have.
So, Vaibhav,
Uh,
you were asking some question.
yeah, so hi Amit. So
Yeah,
actually, I have many friends working at KPMG. So I have a
okay,
personal
okay.
question from you. Like,
Yeah,
so
sure,
how
sure.
does KPMG support employees in maintaining work-life balance?
Yeah, in Big Four, it's very clear. It's very partner driven, and it's subjective. As Adarsh was mentioning, this is the subject. There's the subjectivity comes up. So it clearly depends on how your partner is. If your partner
Yeah,
is
so
good, and if your partners understand you very well, I guess for see, and it's there's also a catch for you if you want to work in any corporate. For the first
yeah,
6 months now, always try to show your intent. Show your intent. this
yeah,
this this is a trick I am telling you. This is a You should show your intent. See, intent matters a lot in any firm or your career. If you have the intent ना, 6 महीने के बाद है ना, your partner will also say कि चल कोई नहीं, चल कर, let's pick it on Monday, no worries. मतलब the world is not going to die, or the world is not going to vanish if I'm not going to work on Saturday and Sunday. कुछ नहीं होने वाला यार. So for the first 6 months at least, show a good intent in the firm, and then everything flows here. And yeah, but it's partner driven. And one thing I also want to, matlab, this is something which I tell to most of the people, that if the workplace is very toxic for you now, Just wait for 1 year to survive in the organization. Just one year. Try to survive and try to be to 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 grab skills from there as much as you can. Don't try to think that what will I do, how will my career pan out, मेरे को यहाँ से बोल देंगे कभी भी निकाल सकते हैं, this and that. No, do your best, survive at least 1 year, and then try to move out of the organization, because nobody survives in a toxic environment. Yeah, it's very clear. Toxic environment means nobody is able to survive. There are partners who used to, in my organization as well, there are partners who shout on their employees, who try to treat their employees like slaves. And then we have partners, like good partners as well, who generally gives like good feedback to their team. They enjoy with their team. They don't bother them very much. There are there are always like it's the type of partner or the partner that you're working with. So you don't have to. It is not. It is a myth that has been created in the minds of college students that big fours are the one where you have to slog your ass every day. But it's not like that. It depends on your partner.
Also, just wanted to ask one more thing. So, I recently did a winter internship in a consultancy firm only as a marketing consultant. And I wanted to enter in a business consultant domain, a big four, in any boutique firm. So, what should I focus on in next 6 or 12 months to enter?
First, these two things which I told to the question prior to this, and the other thing, if you want to enter into a particular firm like Big Four or in the business consulting, now try to be sector specific. I would say be sector specific. In which sector do you want to work? You want to focus on the FMCG, you want to go into energy sector, you want to maybe go into automotive sector, or you you want to go into public sector. Public sector is also a good
If I
one to
want to
enter.
go to like real estate or like that
Infra,
sector,
infra. Then
infra, yeah.
identify here. Then focus on the infra sector. Try to gather as much information and learn about infra sector in India. Try to see the the basic principles and the basic methodology in each sector remains the same. Business model सबका same बनता है. The only thing that you
Mm-hmm.
need to understand is about the real estate sector is that जो भी होता होगा, because I am not a real estate expert, but you need to identify and you should focus on it. What are those those terminologies which are used over there? What are those key, like for example हो सकता है वो market values की बात करते होंगे, वो शायद margins की बात करते हो, dealer margin और constructor margin, and बीच में जो क्या बोलते हैं what we property dealer margin, इन सब चीजों की बातें होती होंगी. तो ये सब चीजें I guess you need to identify.
The commissions and all.
Commissions and all. So you need to identify, and then you should be focused. You should focus on the regulatory part as well. Like RERA के regulations होते हैं. I guess you must RERA authorities होती हैं.
RERA,
How
yeah.
these authorities? What is RERA? First of all,
RERA
generally
approval,
a
yeah.
RERA score is given to a property or something. So what is that RERA score? So
What are the RERAs? What are the circle rates and all?
correct. So try to learn about those things.
Mm.
Regulations is a must thing to focus in if you want to enter in any sector.
Okay.
Regulations is must. So this be
Yeah. So,
sector specific, huh? Be sector specific. I guess you'll be able to crack.
okay. Thank you.
So, hello, Amit. I have a bit of
Hi.
confusion between whether I should go for consulting field or data analytics field, which is going to pay more or which is going to get a big boom in future.
Hmm. So when you say consulting and data analytics, by data analytics, you want to enter into an organization. You want to enter into a company. So you want to enter into PNG and be a data analyst over there, right? Like this. Uh, yeah, depends whether you want to. So, what do you want to do? First of all, see, पैसा दोनों जगह मिलेगा, ऐसा नहीं है कि you won't get पैसा in data analytics. The question that you need to ask yourself that do you want to be in a role where you want to serve the clients or you want to be the client? Because if you enter into PNG, you will be the client. So basic question यही है यार. Data analytics, I would say, if you if you know, मतलब if you have that patience to do all those codings and play with those data and everything, then enter into data analytics.
Okay.
So yeah, enter into. They might be, you won't be able to see a very good path in the first few years for you, but once you cross that threshold of 3 to 4 years, I guess your career would be better. Your career would be in a very right direction because that's the buzz going forward. So yeah, if you have that zeal, just follow data analytics.
Ayush is also an engineer.
You're a
All
computer science
engineers
engineer.
do.
You're a
No,
computer
no,
science.
electronics engineer.
Well, you guys have few codings and all, right? Not like us, like the hardcore mechanical engineer.
Not like mechanical.
Yeah.
So, Tanishk,
Hi Amitya. So
Hi, Tanish. Yeah.
Since you worked at Bain and KPMG, so like, can you tell me what is the biggest difference or like the main difference working at Bain and KPMG in terms of like work culture, opportunities, and like.
Okay. I'll answer your question in three parts, right? I'll give you like three parts. One is
Okay.
culture, second is work opportunities, third is
Yeah,
knowledge.
yeah.
In work culture, nobody can beat Bain. Clear
Okay.
answer to you. In terms of work opportunities, it then comes the question whether you're working in the front end or the back end. I was in
Okay.
the at the back in the
Yeah,
back end. So for me the opportunities were less over there. The client facing opportunities were less. If I would have been in the front end part, still Bain in India doesn't have much opportunities. And in terms of knowledge, for sure KPMG is the better place to be. Clear answer, yes. Matlab, uh, those companies, matlab, like Bain, all those top three will give you a very good work culture. But when it comes to the knowledge and to see that what will I sell in market maybe in next 2 to 3 years, then there's that at that particular factor, I believe those top three matlab, lags to what Big Fours are giving to you in the initial career. So I guess for the initial career, if you're getting an opportunity to enter into Big Four, try to put yourself online for the next 2 years or 3 years. You will have like n number of soft skills. I won't let me know if I'm speaking a lot or if I'm trying to
No, no, no.
bog you guys very much. But yeah, that's what. If you have the patience to enter into Big Four, just get into Big Four, work for 2 years, and then move out. You'll have like n number of skills with you.
Thank
But
you.
if you get an
so
opportunity in top three as well, just go over there.
ठीक है
मतलब
ठीक
ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं मिल because those are better place to work. For sure, those are better place to work. But once you enter in those top three, na, try to be very assertive about कि भाई मेरे को करना है. I don't want to sit in the back end on bench and मैं बस IPCDs कर रहा हूँ. If your goal is to do IPCDs, do it. No worries. That's also a very good thing. But if you want to be in a client facing, be demanding over there. कि boss मुझे ये करना है, give me this opportunity, give me this opportunity.
Thank you so
Amit, in the
much.
end, I'm the one who left with the questions. Uh, Yesterday night, Amit and I have a discussion on a case. So I was working on a case. So I take Amit's suggestion, and he's really here given me such a good table to compare everything. So right now, Amit, I will ask. My question is not related to industry, but related to us. There is something that you are working for 5 to 6 years in this
Hmm.
industry. So, in one line, what is the suggestion you are going to give us to the future consultant?
Mm.
This is something you should be very precise about.
Yeah, I would say one thing that and since after spending like 2 to 4 now, almost five, more than 5 years in the industry, I would say one thing. And it was the same for me as well. That we guys are not from top tier one MBA schools, right? We are not from the top tier in the
Yeah, yeah.
MBA schools, B schools.
True.
Try
Hmm.
try to gather as much skills as you can, because the path for us is not as easy as it is going to be for others, for the top tier B school students. And that's the fact here.
Correct.
That's the fact.
Yeah.
Whenever there's a person who is from IIM and if you are standing in front of him, your manager or your partner will always try to be more inclined towards the IIM guy, because वो एक this is a persona which has been created in the minds of all the corporates, and this is how the world works. That's the harsh reality.
Mm.
So try to be as skillful as you can be. And then when I say skillful, bucket, your fruit bucket should be selective. It should be quality over quantity. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए मैं आर भी सीख लेता हूँ, मैं पाइथन भी सीख लेता हूँ, मैं ये भी सीख लेता हूँ, वो भी लिख लेता हूँ, ये भी लिख लेता हूँ. देन यू विल बी वो बोलते हैं ना मास्टर, यू विल बी जैक ऑफ ऑल एंड मास्टर, यू विल बी
Master of
मास्टर ऑफ
none.
हाँ, मास्टर जैक ऑफ ऑल एंड मास्टर ऑफ नन, या.
Check of
बट
all,
इसमें
master
क्या
of
होगा ना,
none.
यू वोंट बी जैक ऑफ ऑल एज वेल. You will be all those 1 to 10 वाला जो cards में होता है ना, you won't be two, you will be
Mhm.
2 to 10. You won't be in those face cards J K Q A. वहाँ नहीं हो गया. तो be
Okay.
selective, be always put quality over quantity, and be and grab opportunities as much as you can. Once you enter into an industry now, it's very simple for you. The major difficulty for you guys would be to enter into the industry. Once you enter into the industry, you guys will feel over there that yeah, we are not from top tier school na, तो B school, so we have to put the efforts, we have to struggle a bit, और वो struggle बहुत सही रहेगा, उसमें कोई difficulty नहीं आने वाली है. Don't be scared of कि यार opportunities नहीं मिलेगी. You'll get an opportunities, बढ़िया बढ़िया opportunities मिलेगी. You are from UPS, it's a renowned college. It's not a top tier B school, but it's a renowned college. So you'll get the opportunities, but just be mindful that there will be a time that will feel that we have to struggle a bit more compared to the other people.
Mm.
But that should not demotivate you. Yeah, I guess that's the harsh reality I can
This
give
is
you.
this is a very great answer because not any buttering and
हाँ,
things like this.
मतलब
This is very straight to point.
वो होता है ना कि
And
we generally enter into the B school and हम सोचते हैं यार अब तुम
mm,
MBA के बाद बढ़िया पैकेज and that's the life for
yeah.
us. ऐसा नहीं होगा, ऐसा नहीं होगा.
I've seen you. I've seen your struggle.
वो होता है, वो चीज होगी थोड़ी दिन, फिर लगा 2-3 साल रहेगा यार, पर उसके बाद
Ah,
फिर सेट हो जाओगे तुम लोग.
mm.
बस वो 2-3 साल की बात होती है.
Okay, so Amit, thank you
Like
for
after that long pause, I was assuming. After that long pause, I was assuming that you will say कि यार छोड़ो खुद का धंधा खोल लो. Do your own business.
हाँ मतलब if you can you should, for sure. मतलब if you can you should,
Yeah.
but be again, then be mindful about it, that be ready that if
Hmm.
it fails then what will you do. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि भैया
Yeah.
कल को फेल हो गया अब
Definitely.
क्या करूँ. I am just sitting with
Hmm.
a bunch a load of loan on my head. No यार, you don't want to be
Hmm.
in that position. So वही है, if you want to start something and you have an idea which is going to
Hmm.
be fruitful in the future, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
But उससे पहले भी
So
मैं कहूँगा 1 साल कॉर्पोरेट में काम कर लेना, पता लग जाएगा how the world works. पता लग जाएगा,
नहीं
and then
exactly
you'll have
बात
better
सही है.
clarity. You'll have better clarity.
Corporate experience तो दे देता है, वो अलग बात है. Like I have an experience
Correct,
of 1 year, so I know.
correct.
so this is around 15 minutes. So it's
हाँ यार,
really very
चलो
nice
भाई.
nice talking to you. Like
Cool,
uh,
guys.
time fly like nothing. We learn a lot from you and really we miss. I think if we have a lot of video calls with you, it will be great. But let's
Cool,
see.
guys.
Let chat about this. And thank you for doing this in a very short period of time. And
Sure.
so
Thank you, Amitya.
So Amit, good night.
Chalo guys, thank you so much for having
We'll
me.
definitely
And
catch up in Gurgaon.
sure. Just drop me a text here whenever you're here.
Sure,
Cool.
sure.
Chalo guys,
Okay.
all the
Okay.
best
Bye, Amit.
to
Thank
all
you.
of you,
Okay.
and good night.
Bye, Amit. Take care.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye
Thank you.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Bye.
Thanks,
Good
Amit.
night.
Bye.
Bye bye. आदित्य भाई,
आदित्य चेक कर लो
आदित्य मेरे भाई, मेरे यार, मेरे दोस्त, मेरे हमदम,
भाई भाई
मेरे
भाई तुम
मत
10
दबाओ
मिनट और
मत दबाओ
बैठाते ना, मैं पूछ लेता भाई कौन सी दारू पसंद है, बताओ मैं लेके आता हूँ।
भाई भयंकर, ये तो दारू पीने में एक्सपर्ट हो गया भाई बेचारा।